Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating structural shift happening right now at the intersection of data privacy and blockchain tech. We're zeroing in on a platform called Midnight. It's fundamentally rethinking how users, massive enterprises, and developers handle sensitive information online. I mean, if you've ever felt like the digital world forces you into making impossible compromises with your data, you are absolutely going to want to pay attention to this.
Okay, let's dive right into this, because this question perfectly captures the brutal lose-lose scenario of our current digital landscape. For years, we've basically been trapped between two highly flawed paradigms. It's a question nobody actually wants to answer, yet every single time we sign up for an app, deploy software, or run a database, we're essentially forced to pick our poison.
To really understand why this is such a crisis, let's compare the two sides. On one hand, you have your traditional Web2 world. The flaw there? Pretty obvious. You have absolutely zero data ownership. You hand over your info and corporate entities exploit it, monetize it, and sell it without any meaningful consent. Now, on the flip side, we have Web3. But traditional Web3 has this massive, often ignored flaw of its own: zero privacy. Blockchains like Ethereum or Solana are fully transparent public ledgers. If a big enterprise adopts them, all their transactions, their customer balances, their earnings, it's all entirely visible to the public. And, to their competitors. Neither option is remotely viable for true data security.
And that is exactly where the solution comes in: Midnight. The developers behind this are calling it the Web 2.5 bridge. It's designed to be this perfect middle ground that gives you genuine data ownership and decentralization, but without that dangerous radical transparency of traditional blockchains. It's literally about taking the best of both worlds to solve the biggest hurdles in modern data architecture.
To make this concept super tangible, I absolutely love this quote from Ukar, the lead of the Midnight team at Webisoft. He says, "Imagine a platform that works exactly like Facebook, but you get to own your data. You get to choose if your data is monetized. You get that seamless, easy user experience you're used to without the friction of learning complicated Web3 mechanics, but you actually retain total control." That's the real promise of this Web 2.5 bridge.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how Midnight actually pulls it off. It's powered by something called zero-knowledge, or ZK technology. Essentially, this is advanced cryptography that lets one party prove a statement is true without ever revealing the underlying data itself. Think of it like proving to a bouncer that you're over 21 without ever having to hand over your ID to show your birth date, your name, or your address. You prove the condition is met, but the data stays totally private.
Section 1. Real-World Privacy Solutions. Building Beyond Theory.
Over 250 million. To put that number into perspective, that is the population of Uttar Pradesh, India's most populous state. This isn't just some random, abstract statistic. This represents the intense, real-world stakes of the applications being built on Midnight right now.
So, the crucial point is, we aren't just talking about abstract tech here. This literally impacts life-or-death scenarios. A developer named Sam is actively building a forensic chain of custody project for the UP Police Department, and they handle over 10 million forensic cases. As Sam points out, a single case can involve 30-plus different departments. Preventing unrelated departments from snooping or leaking sensitive evidence is absolutely critical. Interdepartmental privacy on a government level is essential, and ZK cryptography is what finally makes it possible.
Beyond the government sector, think about how massive institutional businesses can finally adopt Web3 safely. It's a very logical transition. Step 1, businesses can hide their payments, their customers, and their balances from the public. Step 2, they can use selective disclosure only when it's legally required. And Step 3, say they need a loan from an on-chain bank, they can trustlessly verify their reserves or cash flow using ZK proofs. It perfectly mirrors real-world compliance, which totally unlocks enterprise adoption.
Section 2. Empowering the developer community.
There's a massive hurdle, but also a massive opportunity in this space right now. Worldwide, there are an estimated 30 million Web 2 developers, but Web 3, there are only roughly 28,000 developers. The entire goal of the Midnight ecosystem is to bridge that huge gap and bring those 30 million traditional devs into the fold of privacy-first building. To actually attract those millions of developers, community leaders like Norman, who founded Midnight Forge and Midnight Bank, are pushing a very specific ethos. Abstract away the complex cryptography to create a beautifully simple developer experience. The goal is to give new developers a really short time to first success. If a developer can easily write a smart contract using Midnight's programming language, called Compact, and realize wasn't a total nightmare, they're going to stick around.
And to ensure that short time to first success, dedicated teams are building some incredible infrastructure. Take a look at the 1AM toolset created by UCAR's team at Webisoft. It's not just one tool, it's a whole suite of about 10 products designed to bring Midnight to the masses. They've built a wallet, an explorer, an indexer, a proof station, plus SDKs for both mobile and desktop. They are literally laying down the tracks so any developer can jump in and start building immediately.
And this brilliantly illustrates how we're entering a golden age of software development where AI changes the game entirely. I mean, just 7 months ago, AI couldn't help you code on Midnight because it didn't even know the new compact programming language. But today, by prompting AI agents with the right context and tools, a developer can take an idea, prototype it, and have it deployed in just 1 hour. It's mind-blowing.
Section 3. The Elite Fellowship, Mentorship, and Impact. This is a highly selective group. There are only 16 members in the Elite Fellowship. Interestingly, they refer to it as elite, which is actually the Mandalorian word for family or clan. It signifies a really tight-knit, highly trusted group of technical experts who act as ambassadors for the entire global network.
There is a super high bar required to join and stay in this fellowship. As Norman notes, we expect people to actually build and try to spread the gospel. You can't just sit on the sidelines cheering. You have to be technically sound, you have to integrate privacy features yourself, build in public, and, maybe most importantly, actively mentor newcomers to ease their learning curve.
And this hands-on mentorship is paying off big time. Hackathons have basically become this massive onboarding pathway for the ecosystem. Looking at the recent Hilo hackathon, we saw incredible tactile learning that resulted in just brilliant projects. A huge shout out to the winners, Black 8 for the identity track, and Oblivion Protocol, Fairway, and Tardufo for the healthcare track. It just proves that the pipeline from learning to actually building is alive and well.
Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds into the future with limitless possibilities.
As Ukar points out, ideas that you simply didn't think were possible before are possible now. Developers are literally digging up old code from back in 2016, ideas that had to be completely shelved because the required privacy infrastructure just didn't exist yet. Now, thanks to Midnight, those dead ideas are being brought back to life in just a matter of weeks.
So, what kind of massive, industry-disrupting use cases are we actually talking about here? During a rapid-fire session recently, developers pitched some crazy ideas. Imagine a global medical records management system on Midnight, where your health data travels with you globally, but it's accessible only to verified medical professionals and completely private from anyone else. Or picture decentralized borrowing and lending banks that leverage privacy to provide safe credit markets to developing nations. The scale is huge.
The infrastructure is finally here to solve problems in ways that were literally impossible before. The complex cryptography is abstracted away. The community is standing by, ready to mentor you. Honestly, the only thing missing is your specific passion. So whether you are one of those 30 million traditional developers or a seasoned Web3 veteran, the question I want to leave you with today is this: what will you build on Midnight?